This course was designed to look at history. Look at history. It is the single most largest consumer of heroin in the world. This is the hard part. I'm gonna get this right. When people think about history, they tend to think about dates and events. This happened, and this happened, and this happened. Whereas I've connected so much more with different styles of learning and writing about history. So I was studying a course called The Cities in History with Dr. Jeff Chin. So the City in History course asks you to look at cities through all sorts of different lenses, from agriculture to economics to climate. Our big final essay for this course was to write 3,000 words on any topic that we want, as long as it focused predominantly on any city in the world. I submitted my proposal, which was to look at Istanbul during the 1960s. When I got my marks back from Dr. Jeff, it was pretty disheartening. He basically detailed how I really lacked the social and political background and understandings to delve into this topic with only 3,000 words. Before semester started, I was halfway through reading a book by William S. Burroughs, which is called Junkie: Confessions of an Unredeemed Drug Addict. Junkie is a novel/memoir of Burroughs' life, so it looks at his wealthy upbringing, his very real substance abuse, particularly in regards to morphine and heroin. He has these crazy stories of New York City, from wandering around the subway, stealing stuff of people. It's hard for a lot of people to understand the effects of drug use. It's a very foreign culture to some, yet it exists in all of our cities. Everyone has had contact with a drug user, whether they know it or not. It's a really valuable insight into a group of people who are very marginalized in our communities. I saw this book on my bookshelf, and I started to think about Junkie not through the lens of drug use, but through the lens of how the cities that Burroughs lived in facilitated or encouraged or enabled his use. In one small Google search, you will learn that New York City is the empire of heroin trade. It is the single most largest consumer of heroin in the world. And once I learned something like that, the historian inside of me wants to know more about the city's relationship with drug use. It involves jazz music, a drug war that really barely skimmed the surface, and also the innovation of branded street bags, so dealers could advertise their drug services to other people. That's something that really could have only come out of the New York heroin subculture. It was probably one of the easiest essays that I've ever had to write, because I was very passionate about conveying it respectfully. And a lot of people can get a little apprehensive when you start a conversation like that, particularly when the drug use is something as taboo as heroin. I received a high distinction for my essay, but what really pleased me was the note that Jeff wrote, which was well written in a slightly formless jazzy style that suits the subject matter well. And even if that's a subtle criticism to my structuring or lack thereof, I took it as a compliment. How's that?
Stunning.
Hopefully I'm not like mumbling the whole time, so I was trying to like...
I think it's good because